I am going to try to keep it under 4 minutes. Mainly, I just want to thank Rockhurst and Brian and Mike Stellern for their very nice statement there. The most important thing I want to thank Rockhurst for is giving me Terry, my beautiful wife, introducing me to her. The second is Charles Kovich and particularly Bill Stansel for their work in AAUP. And I really want to say to all of you that join AAUP. We have in those two men people who have diffused many crises, and they preserve the dignity and trust and confidentiality in working with faculty. They are the institutional memory, and the AAUP has been that. But most important, we just have great fun talking to each other. I actually talk to liberal arts people. I'm from the SOM. Yeah, I've got to thank my SOM colleagues over there, many of them at this table, but all of us have been through a quarter century of hell. Going for accreditation with AACSB. And I've got to tell you, the survivors of that process have really been remarkable in preserving the Jesuit tradition of Magis. Because they didn't just publish by their publications or meet the standards set by a bunch of bureaucrats. They published their own stuff, and it has been so fun working with them and publishing this stuff, and not just with them, but with students. So we have had a real communication, a world outside of it, with no incentives. Well, a few, but not many. And it has been wonderful to see the decency and to be part of that dialogue. I also want to thank Father Oldani, working with Research College of Nursing and getting them accredited. You're hearing accredited here, right? And I haven't even mentioned North Central yet, and I'm not going to. I don't want to ruin the evening. But the basic thing is Father Oldani was more than just working with accreditation with research and providing a partnership. He was an institution here who saved a lot of our butts. And I'll tell you how much I appreciated him and many of the other Jesuit faculty who preserved a dignity for all of us on this campus and kept a memory of what it meant to be Jesuit. I'm going to miss them very much. Particularly Father LaCroix, who I did the Ignatian exercises with. Joe Cirencione and I were just talking about that beforehand. I encourage all of you to take advantage of that. You'll do an inventory of your spirituality, whether you are Catholic, Christian, or simply agnostic, whatever. It is absolutely valuable. But from it, I really learned the examen, which I do every day still, and listening leadership. That's what I call it. You basically learn to listen to people, and for me, that's really tough. And to structure the conversation so people talk to you. Terry and I took a group of executive fellows down to Chile, and they thought I did nothing. And that's good. I actually succeeded at listening leadership by listening to them tell me what spirituality was. You know, one person told me, well, I had a spiritual awakening when I woke up and found my passport had been lost. And they were going to have to depend upon me to find it. Anyway, so you can guess how spiritual that experience was. But the real corker was the person when we went on horse up the Andes, and we were up at the top of the mountain, who pulled out his cell phone, said, I got a signal. So his cell phone got a signal, and he called his wife, who had just had a child, and made a connection. Spirituality. So we had a great time with learning spirituality, but then I had a more practical experience with it. And some of you may know that we did the DO MBA programs to give MBAs to med students without adding any time to their 7 years in med school. And in the process of that, we were part of a curriculum reform. I bring this up tonight just because you guys are going to go through it and should know what that's all about. Most of you, except for the 25-year plus people, haven't seen just how bad that can be. But I witnessed it at KCUMB and was brought in to structure a 3-day retreat with the faculty to try to even out some of the difficulties that came from this Genesis new program that they had, and curriculum reform. And I was using basically listening, leadership, the Ignatian exercise, and it really was amazing how well it worked. So there is real educational gold mine in the Ignatian exercises. Do it. It's one of the best things you can do. Now, mentioning curricular reform, there's one little thing that not many people know about, but they do know about KCUMB and what happened to the president there. I'm bringing this up for one reason, to thank Father Curran for what he did. And this is it. I picked the one event that's probably the most important of the 33 years I've been here. And I want to thank Father Curran for an event which occurred after the death of a woman whom I worked with, got the DOMBA. It's now 40 students each year, very successful program. I'm quite glad to not be part of it, but the reason I'm not is because of her death. Well, what happened was that death was announced by Father Curran to the Chamber of Commerce, which Karen had headed, the morning after. I wasn't there. My wife was there. And Father Curran, in front of this whole group of people, announced that, and then got that whole chamber to pray for her. That was courageous, it was dramatic, it was dignified, and I admired him so much for having done that. That was not just the only thing. I've seen Father Knurk issue an incredible statement about what we as a Jesuit university are as far as our mission. I saw Father Savage take a bunch of executives and do a map exercise and show them in their own maps how exclusive they were, how much they ignored the poor, how much they were defeating what they thought they believed in humanity. These men have really led us, and I think we should look for their strengths, not their weaknesses, when we've seen those in the past. We're really lucky to have these people. And having been at a public university for 5 years, where the president basically makes sure that the faculty doesn't talk to the legislature and the legislature doesn't talk to the faculty and then they shut up, we are really lucky to be here to see what leadership can be. And I think it's an excellent example of cura personalis, what Father did with respect to KCMB's former CEO. Well, why am I leaving? Well, I don't know. I guess I'm not. I want to thank Cheryl McConnell for absolutely making it possible for me to stay in my office, to be able to teach, and be here. I have to just because I need to let others have some room, not to be elbowing them out and trying to challenge them all the time. Give them some place to stand, but frankly, I am still going to be around. And I bought my lifetime membership for the AAUP. You do it too. Thank you very much.